up, chat? I want to say absolutely free Palestine with the destructions that is happening. First of all, let me start this video with this video.
Zionism is a political philosophy which has brought about the state of Israel, the so-called state of Israel. This political philosophy has nothing to do with religion. On the contrary, it seeks to confuse others and let them think that Zionism and Judaism is one and the same. I am a conscious African. I know properly my history. I know that Africa gave Judaism to the world. I know the first Jews in the world. Not only do I know this, but I inform everyone who has doubts about it to read a book by Sigmund Freud entitled Moses and Monotheism as a beginning. Consequently, I know that Judaism and Zionism are not the same. Zionism had its first organizational expressions in 1897 in Basel, Switzerland, in Europe. Here was a man by the name of Theodor Herzl, H-E-R-Z-L. He was the founder of Zionism. He said that he was going to find the state that God promised the Jews. Listen to this very carefully. This man, Herzl, was an atheist. He had believed that there was no God. He said God did not exist. Now, how is it the man who believes that God does not exist is going to find a state that God promised to his chosen people? This man is saying Zionism is a satanic movement. It is imperialism. It is racist. It has gone and taken the lands of the Palestinian people and through terrorism has driven them out. And through terrorism, it retains its power. And the United States of America, with over 6 million homeless, sends to Israel billions and billions and billions of dollars everywhere to bomb Palestinian people while homeless people are here.
Bruh. Who can deny that? Who can deny what this black man is saying right now? Who can debate? You know what I'm saying? Who got something to say about this? Because a lot of you guys, you know what this Zionism, you know what this Zionists do? They don't really want to debate you on the facts. So you know what they do? They try to, you know what I'm saying, like distract and, you know what I'm saying, attack you or, you know, manipulate and do some shit. But they can never fucking debate you on the facts and why shit is happening. You know what I'm saying? They can never. And I got a lot of videos that I want to play. But first, you know what I'm saying? I want to share this with you guys because the latest in the situation in Palestine, which is really, you know what I'm saying? Like, break me down. Like, I'm telling you guys, this is one of the reasons, this is one of the plan to make people feel like hopeless. Okay? I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That's one of the reasons. And they're kind of succeeding because, like, I actually lost count. Like, the count. Like, it has been more than over a month. Okay? It's just like outrageous. And for the, you know what I'm saying, for the people that used to actually call for, you know what I'm saying, like for peace or to mediate or to actually be, you know what I'm saying, like the bigger people or be the leaders that the people elected. We don't have those anymore in 2023. Everybody has been captured. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has been manipulated and bought by
New World Order.
And they're just collecting the money regardless of how many people died. And the latest from Gaza is that, I don't know if you guys are following, but there was a hospital that was hit, which was actually, there's like 30 hospitals in Gaza City. 23 of them got hit and bombed, and they're not working anymore. And look at this. One of the largest, not one of the, actually the largest hospital has been hit. And they didn't really have any, look at this. 2 premature babies died, 37 under threat at Gaza Al-Shifa Hospital. Because, you know what I'm saying, this is a war crime. Make no mistake about it. When you cut electricity, water, food, the basic necessary things for a human being to survive, if you cut those from the civilians, like, you don't have, guys, you don't need college degree to understand this. You do not need even a high school diploma. All you need is to be a human being, okay? All you need is to be a human being. You don't even have to be a Palestinian to understand what they're really going through. All you have to be is a human being with a heart. And put yourself in, you know what I'm saying? Think about like the situation they're going through. This kind of situation does not happen anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? The United Nations are telling you. The United Nations. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I call them like just a bunch of senior citizens who getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just sitting home, they're like, oh, let's go ahead and, you know what I'm saying? Like the old ways of the colony. Like, let's go ahead and dictate what these fucking poor countries can do. Okay? Basically, that's what they, to me. But for those of you guys who trust the United Nations, where is the United Nations? One, you need them the most. Where are they? Where are conscious human beings who are anti-war? Because, I see a lot of protests. I get it. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, a lot of people are feeling hopeless. But you know what I'm saying? But do you guys see the inequality, the unfairness, the inhumaneness, like the dehumanizing the Palestinian people? It's another level. Like, even I got a lot of hate, you know what I'm saying, and threats, just because the color of my skin, or just because I said free Palestine, or just because I stand with, you know what I'm saying, like I stand for peace. I don't want destruction. I don't want the Palestinian people to be going through a genocide. Because a lot of you guys are cowards. You cannot even speak up. Like, I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Those people are, they bought, like, they sold
New World Order
to the devil. Because the devil is saying, hey, you cannot talk. The devil is dictating if you can really speak the truth about humanity. Like, what kind of a human being are you if you cannot even speak the truth? If you cannot even say, hey, there's babies dying here. Shit doesn't make any sense. We cannot just keep on killing people. And like, babies, that's where we at. And the president of the United States couldn't even call for a ceasefire. He didn't even, to me, I have to play this. It's like, this is gonna go on the history of the United States or in the world, both. This, one day we're gonna look back. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't give a fuck about legacy, or, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't give a fuck, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? There's no ethics or morals or you know what I'm saying, in America, it's like, how could you sleep at night knowing what the Palestinian people going through? Like, as a human being, as a nation in America, like, how can you? We stand for freedom, self-determination. Think about that. Like, self-determination. These people are not saying anything. Like, nobody's denying any right of the Jewish people. You know what I'm saying? The Palestinian people understand there are Jewish people who are fighting with the Palestinians, who are saying the Palestinian people need their right to have self-determination, to self-determination, to freedom, and to give back to their land. It's that simple. But you know what I'm saying? Like, the United Nations, you know what I'm saying? The ones who think or make you believe that they're the leaders who are fighting for equality on this planet. They tell you, oh, you know what I'm saying? United Nations stand for, you know what I'm saying? Like, peace and prosperity and equality around the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got the audacity to say some shit like that. Like, it pisses me off. And you know, one thing I want to share with you guys is that what's even worse than the destruction and the ethnic cleansing going on in Palestine is the lies and the cover-up going on in the West. And the media, it's just one-sided. And we already know this in the United States. You know what I'm saying? When we went through, you can't even say that word. That's how far we came. I can't even mention what we went through the past 3 years. Otherwise, this video already has been flagged. I guarantee you. Because the moment you say, oh, Palestine, it's over. But we are, hey, the land of the free, huh? The land of the free. It's just, you know, it's crazy, man. It's crazy to me how far we really came. I cannot believe this. Cannot believe this. Hear this, ladies and gentlemen.
Update on getting Honda lab. We're still optimistic. What are the chances of a Gaza ceasefire? None. No possibility. Any update on getting Honda lab? We're still optimistic.
And here's the other angle that you're not going to hear from the mainstream media. When the United States of America is denying and saying, no, there's no possibility of ceasefire. Is he saying that? Is he making that decision? Or is he being controlled? Because he don't even fucking know where he's at. I'm telling y'all right now. He don't even know. Like, here's an example, because I'm tired of some of you guys don't want to believe this. I didn't want to believe it too. It's my president too. You know what I'm saying? I didn't vote for him, but hey.
Ask him to pause for 3 days to get the hostages out for that.
Yes. I've asked for even a longer pause.
What?
You know, I've been asking for a pause for a lot more than 3 days.
He said, you know, I've been asking for a pause for a lot more than 3 decades. What? What a laugh. It's like the United States of embarrassment. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. And you know, they would say when Trump was the president, they were like, oh, the world is laughing at America because of Trump. Wrong. the world is actually laughing at United States of America today because of Joe Biden. Let that sink in. You fucking lames, you fucking woke map. These are the same people who were actually trying to change the definition of a woman. It's the same people who are calling me, oh, can I even say that word? Don't worry.
Get your hands off of me. You Get your hands off of me. Get You motherfucker! Get your hands off of me.
Bro, the hate, the anger of these people reminds you some sort of people in America. This shit is connected. It's like they hate. Like I will never understand how can a human being can hate another human being because of his belief, because of his skin color. Like, what the fuck? In 2023? Bruh. What the fuck? You feel me? And they will, and you know what I'm saying? The mainstream media will tell you, oh, it's the pro-Palestinians who are violent. Are you fucking retarded? You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing that I don't understand, you cannot be the occupier and the victim at the same time. Like, what the fuck? Choose a side. You know what I'm saying? And these sciences, like these Zionists, will never take a side because they want to muddy the water. They want you to get confused because they want you to get confused about Zionism versus Judaism, which is totally two different things. It's two different philosophy, okay? And we just watched, or you guys want to watch this again. I have nothing against any religion. You have the right to worship any God you want. You know what I'm saying? Especially in America, you have a constitutional right. You know what I'm saying? Freedom of religion. You know what I'm saying? Like, to worship. But that's between you and your God. That's between me and my God. Like, and with my, like, why would you hate my skin color? Like, why? Like, cause, like, why? Like, I don't understand, man. These are the same people that I'm fighting for their rights. You know what I'm saying? One day, I know history, you know what I'm saying, repeats itself. But I can already predict the future as well. You know what I'm saying? And one day, mark my words, one day, white people will be the minority race anywhere on this fucking planet. Not only in America. In America, it's already happening. But around the world, it's happening as well. But I'm saying all of that to say, one day, when they are a minority, there will be some people who will try, you know what I'm saying, to actually treat them less. like they used to treat other people. But it will be people like me that will be against those kind of shit. Like, it will be people like me who will fight for the rights of those people, because, you know what I'm saying? Like, I will never fucking just change. You know what I'm saying? It's like, those will be the same people. Those people who are attacking me right now, who are threatening me, who are sending me all the threats, all the hate messages, you know what I'm saying, will be the same kind of people that I'll be fighting for their freedom and for their rights to not be violated. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good, because I do this because of like my beliefs, my ethics, my standards, my morals. Unlike you people who don't have any of that. So regardless of any religion, you know what I'm saying, if you are going through, you know what I'm saying, like the same shit that the Palestinian people are going through, I would be fighting for you. And I always do, you know what I'm saying? And I'm already doing it across the world right now, because, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm having conversations, I'm joining, you know what I'm saying, like, as many groups as I can to add my voice. Because if y'all have seen, man, like, you cannot just sit back and say, oh my God, like, what's happening? Look at this. If you are a colored person, or if you're not a rich person, I'm telling you right now, your best interest is Palestine to be free. Because if Palestine is not free, most likely you will not be free. And that includes African Americans who think, for some reason, this has nothing to do with African Americans. But that's a huge mistake. You know, but first let me just finish this up, because I want to really get into that. Like, nobody's really covering that part. And I want to just really open up the conversation, because this is outrageous. This is what a time, what a clown world we live in. They will tell you human rights, bro. Bruh. So, I cannot believe I have to even tell you guys, if you even notice that every time a Palestinian people, like, or Palestinian person tell you, like, about this situation, or anybody about trying to tell you about this situation, they telling you about babies, and they add innocent babies as if there's different kind of babies. Like, we trying to justify and say, please, this is our innocent people, this is our innocent babies, please don't bomb them. And they still bomb them. How do you explain that? How do you explain that? You know what I'm saying? It's like this is ethnic cleansing. Like, clearing the babies out. You know what I'm saying? Making sure there's no next generation of the Palestinian people. It's one way of the ethnic cleansing. This is worse than Nakba. This is not Nakba 2.0. This is worse than Nakba. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, I cannot believe what I'm seeing today. And a lot of people are they're just zoned out, thinking that they're safe. You're mistaken. And I quote, unfortunately, we have lost two we have lost 2 out of 39 babies because of power outage. That's international, against international rules. That's a war crime to cut electricity, water, food off of babies, hospitals, kids, children. Like, this is not even, like, where's the people that y'all trying to go after? They will never tell you, they will never answer that. Abu Salmiya, the head of the largest medical complex in Gaza, said, we are talking about premature babies who require very intensive care. He explained that the 2 babies died because of lack of fuel of the hospital, which provides electricity to the incubator. Bro. So you remember, like, Israel already cut electricity, water, food from Gaza a long time ago. And this hospital has been using a generator. You feel me? To keep the electricity going. But they ran out of fuel. Man, they died due to a low temperature and lack of oxygen. We're now using primitive methods to keep them alive. Man, we have electricity until in the morning. Once electricity out, the neonates will die just like the others, she warned. We want someone to give us the guarantee that they can evacuate the patients, because we have about 600 inpatients. They can't even evacuate, bro. That's how crazy shit is, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how far we came, guys. And before I want to show you that, let me see. There's, like, at this point, Israel is targeting hospitals, ambulances. Look at this. This picture really haunted me, man. This picture made me tear it up, man. Especially, look, bro, like, if y'all seen, they tell these people to evacuate from north, and while these people going to the south, they bomb them. And you know what these people are using? They're walking. They don't have no transportation. Remember, there's no gas, there's no water, food. These people are already exhausted. They cannot walk. There's like 9 years old, like, including there. Like, how do you know what I'm saying? It's hard to carry, and it's a long walk. And it's the same thing. That's the Nakba, when the United Nations kick more than 700 Palestinians out of Gaza and Palestine just to create 2 states, just to move in it, you know what I'm saying, just to create Israel. Unbelievable, man. And the world feel hopeless, because no matter how many times you like protest or say shit, the leaders will just ignore you. You have no power. You know what I'm saying? This nation has got no power. And all this, you know what I'm saying, war mongers, these people that just love killing, you know what I'm saying, like human beings, just because they can make profits. before the next quarter, because this is the fourth quarter, huh? They want to make sure that the stock prices are higher, huh? And the Palestinian people, the babies, are the expendable to drop them bombs. Because, you know what I'm saying, each bomb, the more bomb you drop, the more money these evils make.
New World Order.
That's where it reached. Before, it used to be like, they used to, you know what I'm saying, just kill people. But they were like, you know what? How about we find a way, the more we kill, the more bomb we drop, the more plane we send, the more jet we, you know what I'm saying, we send, the more airstrike we, you know what I'm saying, we commit, we get more money. Our stock price will be going up. The evil. So, but one other side that they not, the news media are not showing you, is that there's thousands of people in Tel Aviv calling for the releases of the captives, okay? But Israel military or Netanyahu will tell you, oh, you know what I'm saying, like they have to release the hostages. But he don't really give a fuck. He's bombing 24 hours. People are calling for a pause. Forget about a ceasefire. People are calling for a pause. 4 hours pause. And that is, to me, it's like telling people there's 4 hours for you to walk. And only who can do that is the people that can walk, or the people who got resources, or if you are not hungry enough, or if you know what I'm saying, have basically resources to move. A lot of these people it has been more than 30 days. Some of them have not ate so much. Some of them have not had much of water. Some of these people are barely hanging on. And you're giving them 4 hours passes, and those passes are not really happening. And the death toll just keep going up and up. But these people are calling for, oh, where is the hostages? But they don't give a fuck about hostages. Remember how Joe Biden said, oh, we hopeful. When they ask, look at these people who are asking. This is the Jewish people who are asking for ceasefire. They're not interested in. They have other agenda. Ethnic cleansing. They have other agenda. Genocide. So, what I want to say to you guys is, I'm talking to black people. I don't see a lot of black people who are involved in this. You cannot just live in the la la land. Y'all niggas have to wake up. For real. Because most of y'all niggas already locked up. Most of y'all niggas not living. Y'all living just like the Palestinian people. Just like apartheid. Imperialism. You know what I'm saying? Look at Mississippi. Look at Michigan. Look at, you know what I'm saying, Chicago. Every day. You know what I'm saying? Like they have you killing each other. Basically. And nobody's coming to fix it. Have you ever wondered why? When y'all gonna wake up? When y'all gonna wake up? When y'all gonna wake up? Black people? When y'all gonna wake up, man? Never? Y'all don't understand how they used to. Look at this. How they used to shame and lie on Malcolm X. Look at this. This is fucking fake news, Fox News. That label, Malcolm X, an angry black man, points finger. You know what I'm saying? This is Zionism is racism. The same thing the Palestinian people are fighting for is the same thing that black people are fighting for. Self-determination and their rights to be equally free. Because right now they are the second-class citizens. They're not first-class citizens. Only you know, man. Black man in America, any black person in America knows what little bit of what the Palestinians go through daily. So when y'all gonna wake up, man? Black people, when y'all gonna wake up? Look, if you're not careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. That's a deep, you know what I'm saying, quote that Malcolm X said that we don't have somebody like Malcolm X today. There's a reason why they assassinated him and JFK and MLK. You know what I'm saying? And you know what Nelson Mandela said? We know too well that our freedom is incomplete without the freedom of the Palestinians. I'm telling y'all right now, man, if you think y'all niggas just gonna be living happily, you know what I'm saying, like that La La Land in America, you don't understand how right now, as we speak, you know what I'm saying, there's two different classes in America. First class citizens, second class citizens. I'm not telling y'all how y'all living. Y'all already know how y'all living. Paycheck to paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Like, and black babies are being killed without y'all even knowing, man. And black woman, you know what I'm saying, she don't even want to have like black baby or none. She's like too independent. She don't understand the ethnic cleansing going on. She don't understand, but she want to be independent. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need a lot of people, man. We need a re-education of our community. If we're gonna actually stand up, if we're gonna be free, if we're gonna, you know what I'm saying, witness some, like, take some sort of, you know what I'm saying, the right of the self-determination or what it feels to be free before you die. Some of you guys already did. Like, that's not a secret. Some of you guys already did. That's why you have no feeling. Like, you see babies on a, like, if you haven't cried at least once, let me break this down to you. If you haven't cried, not like tears or feeling sad, no, I'm talking about cried, have tears on your fucking face, tears down on your face, you need a therapy. I swear to God, you need a therapy. You need to, like, you need some sort of intervention, because you have no. They made it. They got you.
We in the matrix, my nigga. We in the matrix. We in the matrix. New world order. Coolest DJ in the.
If you haven't cried that month, just once, you know what I'm saying, from what was happening to the Palestinian people, then you need to re-examine your humanity. For real. Because like a lot of you guys are brainwashed, which is even like sad. Look at this. The media is most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and to make the guilty innocent. And that's power because they control the minds of the masses. And that's the normies. For real. And you already know, this is the same thing that was happening to black people. It was the same thing. Same thing. They didn't want black people. Look at this. It was a black lady that was going just to read a book in Alabama library. You know what they did? Like, look, you were not allowed. But y'all niggas want to just smoke and chill and like, hey, like just pop a sign. Like, alright then, bro. Alright then, bro. Don't be mad when your people, man, witness genocide. When your people is extinct. Don't be surprised. Don't be like, how the fuck do I see only 2 black people in America? What the fuck happened, black people? Yeah, nigga. You know what you was doing? Now all of a sudden, y'all gonna act like, nah, man.
I know that Africa gave Judaism to the world. I know that the first Jews in the world were Africans. Not only do I know this, but I inform everyone who has doubts about it to read a book by Sigmund Freud entitled Moses and Monotheism as a beginning. Consequently, I know that Judaism and Zionism are not the same. Zionism had its first organizational expressions in 1897 in Basel, Switzerland, in Europe. Here was a man by the name of Theodor Herzl, H-E-R.
Herzl. That's who created.
ZL. He was the founder of Zionism. He said that he was going to find the state that God promised the Jews. Listen to this very carefully. This man, Herzl, was an atheist. He had believed he said God did not exist. Now, how is it the man who believes that God does not exist is going to find a state that God promised to his chosen people? This man is Satan in disguise. Zionism is a satanic movement. It is devil. It is imperialism. It is racist. It has gone and taken the lands of the Palestinian people and through terrorism has driven them out. And through terrorism, it maintains its power. And the United States of America, with over 6 million homeless, sends to Israel billions and billions and billions of dollars everywhere to bomb Palestinian people while homeless people are here and unemployed are here. Zionism is going to raise this war and make the people of America become clear to what it is and become anti-Zionist.
You need to become anti-Zionism. That's the problem. That's the devil. You know what I'm saying? It's not the Jewish people. Jewish people have been living with, you know what I'm saying, everybody for a long time. Nobody's denying that Jewish people were living, you know what I'm saying, with the Palestinians. But like what people are saying is they're kicking the Palestinians out, bro. That's unfair thing. Like the genocide. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if y'all don't realize, there's only certain people that their life matters. If you guys see it or not. The Palestinian life to these people don't really matter. That's why they're just bombing, using chemical weapons. Like, it's just outrageous. And nobody's saying anything. If it was, you know, you guys already witnessed Ukraine. Every fucking bitch was like, oh my God, Ukraine. They were putting Ukrainian flag on their fucking lame ass profile. Everybody was pro-Ukrainian. But they couldn't even fucking point Ukraine on the map. These are the same people, man, that was trying to fucking push the LGBTQ plus community shit to the kids. Like, what is you doing? And now the same people that are just like trying to like insult me. Oh, you Muslim. Oh, this. What's my religion has to do with anything? Like, if you want to have a conversation, we can. Like, why do you have to? You know what I'm saying? Like, be nasty motherfuckers and ask me about jihad. Like, what the fuck is jihad? Like, why would you ask me about, bro? And YouTube decided that they're gonna like suppress me and amplify the other voices. One day, man, history will look back. You know what I'm saying? This so-called democracy. And you know what I'm saying? We'll see the unfairness. You know what I'm saying? The dehumanizing of like the Palestinian people and the people of color is just outrageous. And the lies is just that's even worse. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it, man. I cannot believe it. Cannot believe it, man. But I'm gonna leave this video. This video, I think it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna give you a little bit of a perspective. So watch it. I would say, like, stick around if you guys are. Please watch, and if you haven't subscribed, please. You see how they're hating me? I swear to God, the reason why I haven't been really recording is that they kill my motivation. These motherfuckers like suppress my like any fucking live stream or video that I do. They fucking suppress my videos, like shadow ban me. You know what I'm saying? Like, hit me with lame ass fake strikes. You know what I'm saying? And like community guideline strike and fucking bullshit. It's just, I'm tired of this fucking YouTube shit. And I'm like, I'm thinking about going to Rumble. But like, I don't know, man. Starting all over again. I've been doing this shit for almost fucking a year and a half now. It's outrageous. Cannot believe, man. Because I loved YouTube, man. When people were leaving YouTube, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give YouTube a chance. But goddamn, bro, I'm regretting it. Because I don't know who own YouTube, man. They paying money. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What Kanye told ya? Alright, man, I'm gonna leave y'all with this video, man. Please hit the like button, subscribe. I appreciate y'all. I've been getting a lot of hate, but you know, the ones that keep me motivated is the ones that, you know what I'm saying, that watch and have the same interests and values, and the conscious people, the people that with a heart. Even if you disagree with me, but you have a heart, I love you. Honestly, if you have a heart, I don't give a fuck if you disagree with me. We can have a conversation without you attacking, like personally attacking me or distracting the point. I respect you. And I will invite you to come on my platform, debate me. You know what I'm saying? If you got, you know what I'm saying, a good debate, the world will see it. But, you know what I'm saying, just the hate, man. It's just what I don't like. But please hit the like button, subscribe. Until next time, my friends. Don't let them, you know what I'm saying, don't let them fucking kill your motivation like they did. I'm gonna get back up. Okay? Until next time, my friends. I'm gonna leave you with this video.
That's German propaganda.
I understand. Let me tell you a tactic of Zionism. What they do is that every time you say something, they bring out Hitler. You understand? And they make you feel scared about Hitler. Okay, if Hitler killed as many Jews as he did, then what the Jews should do is take Germany. Why you go to Palestine? The Arabs ain't did nothing to you. Number one, go to Germany.
Because Germany is not our homeland, Israel is.
I'm coming. Egypt is mine. It's Africa. Is that correct?
That's right.
Why does Israel want to attack
Israel
Africa?
does not want Egypt.
Israel doesn't want Egypt.
No, it does not.
What does it want?
Israel wants Israel.
Where is
Israel
Israel?
wants-
What year was Israel recreated? How did you get it? How? Who gave it to you? Lord Balfour in London in 1916? Was it his?
The modern state of Israel was created by the United Nations.
You want to get in on this? He's right. He is absolutely correct. He is absolutely correct. And that shows you what an illegal, immoral, and unjust state is. Today, it won't even listen to the rules of the United Nations, which tells it to withdraw from the 1967 borders.
That's very interesting, Mr. Carmichael. On one
Come
hand,
on, let's work with it.
United Nations is a bunch of bullshit, and you know it.
Hey.
On one hand, you say that...
Please, wait, hold it. No, please. For respect of me, I don't curse publicly. I didn't go through that period. I left it where it belongs.
I said it, he didn't. The same roots
Yes.
and the same rights that
Right.
blacks have to Africa are the same rights that Jews have to Israel. Because they've been living in exile does not mean we've relinquished the right.
Well,
We still cherish it in our hearts.
I understand that. I understand.
So don't go off calling us aggressors, because we have a right to that land just as
Right.
blacks have a right to
I
Africa.
understand. I'm saying that Africa belongs to us. You say it belongs to you too. So
No, I don't.
two spaces.
I say Africa is yours, but Israel is ours.
No.
There's a difference.
No.
Yes, there is.
Israel belongs to the Palestinians.
For someone who believes in humanity, you certainly haven't shown it to me here.
I do believe in humanity.
Only black humanity.
I believe, but that's humanity.
What
Hey.
about Jewish?
Hey.
No, if
Hey.
you're going to go that way, Stokely, then it's yellow humanity.
Hey, come on.
Are blacks the only people in the world?
No, we're not the only people in the world.
Are
We're
Jews a people?
Huh?
Are Jews a people?
They call themselves a people, yes.
They are a people.
Well, you wait in line. I've been waiting here.
Let me say
I've been
something.
waiting in
I know,
line,
but
man.
Let me say this. Let me say something here. Wait a minute. Hold it now. Wasn't it in June the 12th, 1948, that they made the exodus from Europe? Was that it?
That's
And,
when the United Nations gave it to
yeah.
them. But Israel was signed to them in 1917 by Lord Balfour of the British government.
Okay.
The Arabs had the land, and he signed a piece of paper and gave it to them.
Okay. Now, what is the definition of Jewish?
Well, I said Zionist. That's them.
Because the reason I'm trying to figure out now, Israel is in the Middle East, right? Or Jerusalem?
That's where they created it, yeah.
Okay. And the people that exodus there, they came from Europe?
I hear you.
Were they
I hear you.
Germans and Polacks
Yes.
and things like that?
Yes.
They also
Yeah.
came from Yemen, Morocco, Iraq,
you.
Egypt, Jordan.
I'm on the mic. People gonna think I'm saying this shit.
No, I'm saying
I hear you. I hear you. Okay. I'm sorry. Wait. Please, let me just finish his last question on the question of anti-Semitic. Now, when he says I'm anti-Semitic, I'm supposed to jump back and say, hey, no, I'm not that. But in the first place, his definition is incorrect. As I understand it, the Arabs are also a Semite people, and I support the just claims of the Palestinian people to their land. Thus, I am pro-Semitic. I'm pro-Semitic.
anti-Semitic has never meant anti-Arab. It's always meant anti-Jewish. And
You
know
make
that.
it mean that, but you should have heard my speech in 1968. I said the power to define
You're
will be
anti-Jewish,
our
Mr.
right,
Carmichael.
that's self-determination.
You are anti-Jewish. You're an anti-Semite.
Hey, I'm anti-Zionist. I'll tell you what I am.
Anti-Zionist is that?
I'm anti-Zionist. I'll tell you what I am.
Been speaking for 10 minutes.
Hey, Stokely, let's talk about something else
Hold
now.
it, everybody, just a second. We're out of time here. We're a little bit over. And so we're going to have to end it here. And we're moving it to the reception in the men's lounge. We can continue this.
Mr. Moderator, Reverend Cleage, brothers and sisters, and friends, and I see some enemies. In fact, I think we'd be fooling ourselves if we had an audience this large and didn't realize that there were some enemies present. This afternoon, we want to talk about the ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet explains itself. But before we get into it, since this is the year of the ballot or the bullet, I would like to clarify some things that refer to me personally concerning my own personal position. I'm still a Muslim. That is, my religion is still Islam. My religion is still Islam. I still credit Mr. Muhammad for what I know and what I am. He's the one who opened my eyes. And at present, I'm the minister of the newly founded Muslim Mosque Incorporated, which has its offices in the Teresa Hotel right in the heart of Harlem. That's the Black Belt in New York City. And when we realize that Adam Clayton Powell is a Christian minister, he has Abyssinia Baptist Church, but at the same time he's more famous for his political struggling. And Dr. King is a Christian minister from Atlanta, Georgia, but he's become more famous for being involved in the civil rights struggle. There's another in New York, Reverend Galamison. I don't know if you've heard of him out here. He's a Christian minister from Brooklyn, but has become famous for his fight against the segregated school system in Brooklyn. Reverend Cleave, right here, is a Christian minister here in Detroit. He's the head of the Freedom Now Party. All of these are Christian ministers. All of these are Christian ministers, but they don't come to us as Christian ministers. They come to us as fighters in some other category. I'm a Muslim minister. The same as they are Christian ministers, I'm a Muslim minister. And I don't believe in fighting today in any one front, but on all fronts. In fact, I'm a black nationalist freedom fighter. Islam is my religion, but I believe my religion is my personal business. It governs my personal life, my personal morals. And my religious philosophy is personal between me and the God in whom I believe. Just as the religious philosophy of these others is between them and the God in whom they believe. And this is best this way. Were we to come out here discussing religion, we'd have too many differences from the outstart, and we could never get together. So today, though Islam is my religious philosophy, my political, economic, and social philosophy is black nationalism. You and I... As I say, if we bring up religion, we'll have differences, we'll have arguments, we'll never be able to get together. But if we keep our religion at home, keep our religion in the closet, keep our religion between ourselves and our God, but when we come out here, we have a fight that's common to all of us against the enemy who is common to all of us. The political philosophy of black nationalism only means that the black man should control the politics and the politicians in his own community. The time when white people can come in our community and get us to vote for them so that they can be our political leaders and tell us what to do and what not to do is long gone. By the same token, the time when that same white man, knowing that your eyes are too far open, can send another Negro into the community, get you and me to support him so he can use him to lead us astray, those days are long gone. The political philosophy of black nationalism only means that if you and I are going to live in a black community, and that's where we're going to live, because as soon as you move into one of their, as soon as you move out of the black community into their community, it's mixed for a period of time, but they're gone, and you're right there all by yourself. We must understand the politics of our community, and we must know what politics is supposed to produce. We must know what part politics play in our lives. And until we become politically mature, we will always be misled, led astray, or deceived or maneuvered into supporting someone politically who doesn't have the good of our community at heart. So the political philosophy of black nationalism only means that we will have to carry on a program, a political program of re-education, to open our people's eyes, make us become more politically conscious, politically mature. And then we will, whenever we get ready to cast our ballot, that ballot will be cast for a man of the community who has the good of the community at heart. And the economic philosophy of black nationalism only means that we should own and operate and control the economy of our community. You would never find, you can't open up a black store in a white community. White man won't even patronize you. And he's not wrong. He got sense enough to look out for himself. And you who don't have sense enough to look out for yourself. The white man is too intelligent to let someone else come and gain control of the economy of his community. But you will let anybody come in and control the economy of your community. Control the housing, control the education, control the jobs, control the businesses under the pretext that you want to integrate. No, you're out of your mind. The economic philosophy of black nationalism only means that we have to become involved in a program of re-education to educate our people into the importance of knowing that when you spend your dollar out of the community in which you live, the community in which you spend your money becomes richer and richer. The community out of which you take your money becomes poorer and poorer. And because these Negroes who have been misled, misguided, are breaking their necks to take their money and spend it with the man. The man is becoming richer and richer, and you're becoming poorer and poorer. And then what happens? The community in which you live becomes a slum. It becomes a ghetto. The conditions become run down. And then you have the audacity to complain about poor housing in a run-down community. Why, you run it down yourself when you take your dollar. And you and I are in a double trap, because not only do we lose by taking our money someplace else and spending it, when we try and spend it in our own community, we're trapped because we haven't had sense enough to set up stores and control the businesses of our community. The man who's controlling the stores in our community is a man who doesn't look like we do. He's a man who doesn't even live in the community. So you and I, even when we try and spend our money in the block where we live or the area where we live, we're spending it with a man who, when the sun goes down, takes that basket full of money in another part of the town. So we're trapped, double trapped, triple trapped. Anywhere we go, we find that we're trapped. And every kind of solution that someone comes up with is just another trap. But the political and economic philosophy of black nationalism, the economic philosophy of black nationalism shows our people the importance of setting up these little stores and developing them and expanding them into larger operations. Woolworth didn't start out big like they are today. They started out with a dime store and expanded and expanded and expanded until today they're all over the country and all over the world, and they're getting some of everybody's money. Now this, what you and I in General Motors, the same way, didn't start out like it is. It started out just a little rat race type operation. And it expanded until today it's where it is right now. And you and I have to make a start. And the best place to start is right in the community where we live. So our people not only have to be re-educated to the importance of supporting black business, but the black man himself has to be made aware of the importance of going into business. And once you and I go into business, we own and operate at least the businesses in our community. What we will be doing is developing a situation wherein we will actually be able to create employment for the people in the community. And once you can create some employment in the community where you live, it will eliminate the necessity of you and me having to act ignorantly and disgracefully boycotting and picketing some cracker someplace else trying to beg him for a job. Anytime you have to rely upon your enemy for a job, you're in bad shape. And he is your enemy. Anytime, you wouldn't be in this country if some enemy hadn't kidnapped you and brought you here. On the other hand, some of you think you came here on the Mayflower. So as you can see, brothers and sisters, today, this afternoon, it's not our intention to discuss religion. We're going to forget religion. If we bring up religion, we'll be in an argument. And the best way to keep away from arguments and differences, as I said earlier, put your religion at home, in the closet. Keep it between you and your God. Because if it hasn't done anything more for you than it has, you need to forget it anyway. Whether you are a Christian or a Muslim or a nationalist, we all have the same problem. They don't hang you because you're a Baptist, they hang you because you're black. They don't attack me because I'm a Muslim, they attack me because I'm black. They attack all of us for the same reason. All of us catch hell from the same enemy. We're all in the same bag, in the same boat. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. All of them from the same enemy. The government has failed us. You can't deny that. Anytime you live in the 20th century, 1964, and you walking around here singing, "We shall overcome," the government has failed. This is part of what's wrong with you. You do too much singing. Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging. You can't sing up on freedom, but you can swing up on some freedom. Cassius Clay can sing, but singing didn't help him to become the heavyweight champion of the world. Swinging helped him. So this government has failed us. The government itself has failed us. And the white liberals who have been posing as our friends have failed us. And once we see that all these other sources to which we've turned have failed, we stop turning to them and turn to ourselves. We need a self-help program, a do-it-yourself philosophy, a do-it-right-now philosophy, it's already too late philosophy. This is what you and I need to get with. And the only way we're going to solve our problem is with a self-help program. Before we can get a self-help program started, we have to have a self-help philosophy. Black nationalism is a self-help philosophy. What's so good about it, you can stay right in the church where you are and still take black nationalism as your philosophy. You can stay in any kind of civic organization that you belong to and still take black nationalism as your philosophy. You can be an atheist and still take black nationalism as your philosophy. This is a philosophy that eliminates the necessity for division and argument. Because if you're black, you should be thinking black. And if you're black and you're not thinking black at this late date, well, I'm sorry for you. Once you change your philosophy, you change your thought pattern. Once you change your thought pattern, you change your attitude. Once you change your attitude, it changes your behavior pattern. And then you go on into some action. As long as you got a sit-down philosophy, you'll have a sit-down thought pattern. And as long as you think that old sit-down thought, you'll be in some kind of sit-down action. They'll have you sitting in everywhere. It's not so good to refer to what you're going to do as a sit-in. That right there castrates you. Right there it brings you down. What goes with it? Think of the image of someone sitting. An old woman can sit. An old man can sit. A chump can sit. A coward can sit. Anything can sit. Well, you and I have been sitting long enough, and it's time today for us to start doing some standing and some fighting to back that up. When we look at other parts of this earth upon which we live, we find that black, brown, red, and yellow people in Africa and Asia are getting their independence. They're not getting it by singing, "We shall overcome." No, they're getting it through nationalism. It is nationalism that brought about the independence of the people in Asia. Every nation in Asia gained its independence through the philosophy of nationalism. Every nation on the African continent that has gotten its independence brought it about through the philosophy of nationalism. And it will take black nationalism to bring about the freedom of 22 million Afro-Americans here in this country where we have suffered colonialism for the past 400 years. America is just as much a colonial power as England ever was. America is just as much a colonial power as France ever was. In fact, America is more so a colonial power than they, because she's a hypocritical colonial power behind it. What do you call second-class citizenship? Why, that's colonization. Second-class citizenship is nothing but 20th century slavery. How are you going to tell me you're a second-class citizen? They don't have second-class citizenship in any other government on this earth. They just have slaves and people who are free. Well, this country is a hypocrite. They try and make you think they set you free by calling you a second-class citizen. No, you're nothing but a 20th century slave. Just as it took nationalism to remove colonialism from Asia and Africa, it'll take black nationalism today to remove colonialism from the backs and the minds of 22 million Afro-Americans here in this country. And 1964 looks like it might be the year of the ballot or the bullet. Why does it look like it might be the year of the ballot or the bullet? Because Negroes have listened to the trickery and the lies and the false promises of the white man now for too long. And they're fed up. They've become disenchanted. They've become disillusioned. They've become dissatisfied. And all of this has built up frustrations in the black community that makes the black community throughout America today more explosive than all of the atomic bombs the Russians can ever invent. Whenever you got a racial powder keg sitting in your lap, you're in more trouble than if you had an atomic powder keg sitting in your lap. When a racial powder keg goes off, it doesn't care who it knocks out the way. understand this, it's dangerous. And in 1964, this seems to be the year. Because what can the white man use now to fool us? After he put down that march on Washington, and you see all through that now, he tricked you, had you marching down to Washington. Yes, had you marching back and forth between the feet of a dead man named Lincoln and another dead man named George Washington, singing, "We shall overcome." He made a chump out of it. He made a fool out of it. He made you think you were going somewhere, and you end up going nowhere but between Lincoln and Washington.
So today our people are disillusioned. They've become disenchanted. They've become dissatisfied. And in their frustrations, they want action. You'll see this young black man, this new generation, asking for the ballot or the book. That old Uncle Tom action is outdated. The young generation don't want to hear anything about the odds are against us. What do we care about odds? When this country here was first being founded, there were 13 colonies. The whites were colonized. They were fed up with this taxation without representation. So some of them stood up and said, liberty or death. Though I went to a white school over here in Mason, Michigan. The white man made the mistake of letting me read his history books. He made the mistake of teaching me that Patrick Henry was a patriot and George Washington wasn't nothing nonviolent about old Pat or George Washington. Liberty or death was what brought about the freedom of whites in this country from the English. They didn't care about the odds. Why, they faced the wrath of the entire British Empire. And in those days, they used to say that the British Empire was so vast and so powerful when the sun would never set on it. This is how big it was. Yet these 13 little scrawny states, tired of taxation without representation, tired of being exploited and oppressed and degraded, told that big British Empire, liberty or death. And here you have 22 million Afro-Americans, black people today, catching more hell than Patrick Henry ever saw. And I'm here to tell you, in case you don't know it, that you got a new generation of black people in this country who don't care anything whatsoever about odds. They don't want to hear you, old Uncle Tom, handkerchief heads, talking about the odds. No. This is a new generation. If they're going to draft these young black men and send them over to Korea or South Vietnam to face 800 million Chinese. If you're not afraid of those odds, you shouldn't be afraid of these odds. Why does this loom to be such an explosive political year? Because this is the year of politics. This is the year when all of the white politicians are going to come into the Negro community. You never see them until election time. You can't find them until election time. They're going to come in with false promises. And as they make these false promises, they're going to feed our frustrations. And this will only serve to make matters worse. I'm no politician. I'm not even a student of politics. I'm not a Republican, nor a Democrat, nor an American, and got sense enough to know it. I'm one of the 22 million black victims of the Democrats. One of the 22 million black victims of the Republicans, and one of the 22 million black victims of Americanism. And when I speak, I don't speak as a Democrat or a Republican. I speak as a victim of America's so-called democracy. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. When we open our eyes today and look around America, we see America not through the eyes of someone who has enjoyed the fruits of Americanism. We see America through the eyes of someone who has been the victim of Americanism. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. We haven't benefited from America's democracy. We've only suffered from America's hypocrisy. And the generation that's coming up now can see it and are not afraid to say it. If you go to jail, so what? If you're black, you were born in jail. If you black, you were born in jail. In the North as well as the South. Stop talking about the South. Long as you're south of the Canadian border, you're south. Don't call Governor Wallace a Dixie governor. Romney is a Dixie governor. $22 million black victims of Americanism are waking up, and they're gaining a new political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. They see that the whites are so evenly divided that every time they vote, the race is so close, they have to go back and count the votes all over again. And which means that any block, any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You can keep Johnson in Washington, D.C., or you can send him back to his Texas cotton patch. You're the one who sent Kennedy to Washington. You're the one who put the present Democratic administration in Washington, D.C. The whites were evenly divided. It was the fact that you threw 80% of your votes behind the Democrats that put the Democrats in the White House. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. And despite the fact that you are in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? The Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. only because of the Negro vote. They've been down there 4 years. And all other legislation they wanted to bring up, they brought it up and gotten it out of the way, and now they bring up you. And now they bring up you. You put them first and they put you last. Because you're a chump. A political chump. In Washington, D.C., in the House of Representatives, there are 257 who are Democrats. Only 177 are Republicans. In the Senate, there are 67 Democrats. Only 33 are Republicans. The party that you bash controls 2/3 of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and still they can't keep their promise to you because you're a chump. Anytime you throw your weight behind a political party that controls 2/3 of the government, and that party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you're dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race. And what kind of alibi do they come up with? They try and pass the buck to the Dixiecrats. Now, back during the days when you were blind, deaf, and dumb, ignorant, politically immature, naturally you went along with that. But today, as your eyes come open and you develop political maturity, you're able to see and think for yourself. And you can see that a Dixiecrat is nothing but a Democrat in disguise. You look at the structure of the government that controls this country. It's controlled by 16 senatorial committees and 20 congressional committees. Of the 16 senatorial committees that run the government, 10 of them are in the hands of Southern segregationists. Of the 20 congressional committees that run the government, 12 of them are in the hands of Southern segregationists. And they're going to tell you and me that the South lost the war. You today are in the hands of a government of segregationists, racists, white supremacists, who belong to the Democratic Party but disguise themselves as Dixiecrats. A Dixiecrat is nothing but a Democrat. Whoever runs the Democrats is also the father of the Dixiecrats, and the father of all of them is sitting in the White House. I say, and I say it again, you got a president who's nothing but a Southern segregationist. From the state of Texas. They'll lynch you in Texas as quick as they'll lynch you in Mississippi. Only in Texas, they lynch you with a Texas accent. In Mississippi, they lynch you with a Mississippi accent. And the first thing the cracker does when he comes in power, he takes all the Negro leaders and invites them for coffee to show that he's all right. And those Uncle Toms can't pass up the coffee. They come away from the coffee table telling you and me that this man is all right because he's from the South. And since he's from the South, he can deal with the South. And look at the logic that they're using. What about Eastland? He's from the South. Make him the president. If Johnson is a good man because he's from Texas, and being from Texas will enable, if Johnson is a good man because he's from Texas, and being from Texas will enable him to deal with the South, Eastland can deal with the South better than Johnson. Oh, I say, you've been misled. You've been had. You've been took. I was in Washington a couple of weeks ago while the senators were filibustering. And I noticed in the back of the Senate a huge map. And on this map, it showed the distribution of Negroes in America. And surprisingly, the same senators that were involved in the filibuster were from the states where there were the most Negroes. Why were they filibustering the civil rights legislation? Because the civil rights legislation is supposed to guarantee voting rights to Negroes in those states. And those senators from those states know that if the Negroes in those states can vote, those senators are down the drain. The representatives of those states go down the drain. And in the Constitution of this country, it has a stipulation wherein whenever the rights, the voting rights of people in a certain district are violated, then the representative who's from that particular district, according to the Constitution, is supposed to be expelled from the Congress. Now, if this particular aspect of the Constitution was enforced, why, you wouldn't have a cracker in Washington, D.C. But what would happen when you expel the Dixiecrat? You're expelling the Democrat. When you destroy the power of the Dixiecrat, you're destroying the power of the Democratic Party. So how in the world can the Democratic Party in the South actually side with you in sincerity when all of its power is based in the South? These Northern Democrats are in cahoots with the Southern Democrats. They're playing a giant con game, a political con game. You know how it goes. One of them comes to you and make believe he's for you. And he's in cahoots with the other one that's not for you. Why? Because neither one of them is for you. But they got to make you go with one of them or the other. So this is a con game. And this is what they've been doing with you and me all these years. First thing Johnson got off the plane, when he became president, he asked, where's Dickie? You know who Dickie is? Dickie is old Southern cracker Richard Russell. Yeah, yes. Lyndon B. Johnson's best friend is the one who is ahead, who's heading the forces that are filibustering civil rights legislation. You tell me, how in the hell is he going to be Johnson's best friend? How can Johnson be his friend and your friend too? No, that man is too tricky. Especially if his friend is still old Dickie. Whenever the Negroes keep the Democrats in power, they're keeping the Dixiecrats in power. This is true. A vote for a Democrat is nothing but a vote for a Dixiecrat. I know you don't like me saying that, but I'm not the kind of person who come here to say what you like. I'm going to tell you the truth whether you like it or not. Up here in the North, you have the same thing. The Democratic Party don't do it. They don't do it that way. They got a thing that they call gerrymandering. They maneuver you out of power. Even though you can vote, they fix it so you're voting for nobody. They got you going and coming. In the South, they're outright political wolves. In the North, they're political foxes. A fox and a wolf are both canine. Both belong to the dog family. Now, you take your choice. You're going to choose a northern dog or a southern dog. Because either dog you choose, I guarantee you, you'll still be in the doghouse. This is why I say it's the ballot or the bullet. It's liberty or death. It's freedom for everybody or freedom for nobody. America today finds herself in a unique situation. Historically, revolutions are bloody. Oh, yes, they are. They have never had a bloodless revolution or a nonviolent revolution. That don't happen even in Hollywood. You don't have a revolution in which you love your enemy. And you don't have a revolution in which you are begging the system of exploitation to integrate you into it. Revolutions overturn systems. Revolutions destroy systems. A revolution is bloody. But America is in a unique position. She's the only country in history in a position actually to become involved in a bloodless revolution. The Russian Revolution was bloody. Chinese Revolution was bloody. French Revolution was bloody. Cuban Revolution was bloody. And there was nothing more bloody than the American Revolution. But today, this country can become involved in a revolution that won't take bloodshed. All she's got to do is give the black man in this country everything that's doing. Everything. I hope that the white man can see this, because if you don't see it, you're finished. If you don't see it, you're going to become involved in some action in which you don't have a chance. And we don't care anything about your atomic bomb. It's useless, because other countries have atomic bombs. When 2 or 3 different countries have atomic bombs, nobody can use it. So it means that the white man today is without a weapon. If you want some action, you got to come on down to earth. And there's more black people on earth than there are white people on earth. I only got a couple more minutes. The white man can never win another war on the ground. His days of war victory, his days of background victory are over. It's going on this earth right now that he's involved in. Tell me where he's winning. Nowhere. Why, some rice eaters ran him out of Korea. Yes, they ran him out of Korea. Rice eaters with nothing but gym shoes and a rifle and a bowl of rice. Took him and his tanks and his napalm and all that other action he's supposed to have and ran him across the Yalu. Why? Because the day that he can win on the ground is past. Up in French Indochina, those little peasants, rice growers, took on the might of the French army and ran all the Frenchmen. You remember Dien Bien Phu? No. The same thing happened in Algeria, in Africa. They didn't have anything but a rifle. The French had all these highly mechanized instruments of warfare. But they put some guerrilla action on. And a white man can't fight a guerrilla warfare. Guerrilla action takes heart, takes nerve, and he doesn't have that. He's brave when he's got tanks. He's brave when he's got planes. He's brave when he's got bombs. He's brave when he got a whole lot of company along with him. But you take that little man from Africa and Asia, turn him loose in the woods with a blade. That's all he needs. All he needs is a blade. And when the sun comes down, goes down, and it's dark, it's even Steven. So it's the ballot or the bullet. Today our people can see that we're faced with a government conspiracy. This government has failed us. The senators who are filibustering concerning your and my rights, that's the government. Don't say it's Southern senators, this is the government. This is the government filibuster. It's not a segregationist filibuster. It's a government filibuster. Any kind of activity that takes place on the floor of the Congress or the Senate, that's the government. Any kind of dilly-dallying, that's the government. Any kind of pussyfooting, that's the government. Any kind of act that's designed to delay or deprive you and me right now of getting full rights, that's the government, that's responsible. And anytime you find the government involved in a conspiracy to violate the citizenship or the civil rights of a people, then you are wasting your time going to that government expecting redress. Instead, you have to take that government to the world court and accuse it of genocide and all of the other crimes that it is guilty of today. So those of us whose political and economic and social philosophy is black nationalism have become involved in the civil rights struggle. We have injected ourselves into the civil rights struggle, and we intend to expand it from the level of civil rights to the level of human rights. As long as you fight it on the level of civil rights, you're under Uncle Sam's jurisdiction. You're going to his court expecting him to correct the problem. He created the problem. He's the criminal. You don't take your case to the criminal, you take your criminal to court. When the government of South Africa began to trample upon the human rights of the people of South Africa, they were taken to the UN. When the government of Portugal began to trample upon the rights of our brothers and sisters in Angola, it was taken before the UN. Why, even the white man took the Hungarian question to the UN, and just this week, Chief Justice Goldberg was crying over 3 million Jews in Russia about their human rights, charging Russia with violating the UN Charter because of its mistreatment of the human rights of Jews in Russia. Now you tell me, how can the plight of everybody on this earth reach the halls of the United Nations and you have 22 million Afro-Americans whose churches are being bombed, whose little girls are being murdered, whose leaders are being shot down in broad daylight? Now you tell me why the leaders of this struggle have never taken it before the United Nations. So our next move is to take the entire civil rights struggle problem into the United Nations. And let the world see that Uncle Sam is guilty of violating the human rights of 22 million Afro and still has the audacity or the nerve to stand up and represent himself as the leader of the free world. Not only is he a crook, he's a hypocrite. Here he is standing up in front of other people, Uncle Sam, with the blood of your and my mothers and fathers on his hands, with the blood dripping down his jaws like a bloody-jawed wolf, and still got the nerve to point his finger at other countries. You can't even get civil rights legislation. And this man has got the nerve to stand up and talk about South Africa, or talk about Nazi Germany, or talk about Portugal. No more days like those. So I say in my conclusion, the only way we're going to solve it, we got to unite in unity and harmony. And black nationalism is the key. How are we going to overcome the tendency to be at each other's throats that always exists in our neighborhood? And the reason this tendency exists, the strategy of the white man has always been divide and conquer. He keeps us divided in order to conquer us. He tells you, I'm for separation and you for integration, and keep us fighting with each other. No, I'm not for separation and you're not for integration. What you and I are for is freedom. Only you think that integration will get you freedom. I think separation will get me freedom. We both got the same objective. We just got different ways of getting at it. So I studied this man, Billy Graham, who preaches white nationalism. That's what he preaches. I say that's what he preaches. The whole church structure in this country is white nationalism. You go inside a white church, that's what they're preaching, white nationalism. They got Jesus white, Mary white, God white, everybody white. That's white nationalism. So what he does, the way he circumvents the jealousy and envy that he ordinarily would incur among the heads of the church. Whenever you go into an area where the church already is, you're going to run into trouble. Because they got that thing, what you call it, syndicated. So they got a syndicate, just like the racketeers have. I'm going to say what's on my mind, because the preachers already proved to you that they got a syndicate. And when you're out in the rackets, whenever you're getting in another man's territory, you know, they gang up on you. And that's the same way with you. You run into the same thing. So how Billy Graham gets around that, instead of going into somebody else's territory like he's going to start a new church, he doesn't try and start a church. He just goes in preaching Christ. And he says, everybody who believes in him, you go wherever you find him. So this helps all the churches, and so since it helps all the churches, they don't fight him. Well, we're going to do the same thing, only our gospel is black nationalism. His gospel is white nationalism, our gospel is black nationalism. And the gospel of black nationalism, as I told you, means you should control the politics of your community, the economy of your community, and all of the society in which you live should be under your control. And once you feel that this philosophy will solve your problem, go join any church where that's preached. Don't join a church where white nationalism is preached. Now you can go to a Negro church and be exposed to white nationalism. But when you walk in a Negro churches and a white Mary and some white angels, that Negro church is preaching white nationalism. When you go to a church and you see the pastor of that church with a philosophy and a program that's designed to bring black people together and elevate black people, join that church. Join that church. If you see where the NAACP is preaching and practicing that which is designed to make black nationalism materialize, join NAACP. Join any kind of organization, civic, religious, fraternal, political, or otherwise, that's based on lifting the black man up and making him master of his own community. It'll be the ballot, or it'll be the bullet. It'll be liberty, or it'll be death. And if you're not ready to pay that price, don't use the word freedom in your vocabulary. One more thing. I was on a program in Illinois recently with Senator Paul Douglas, a so-called liberal, so-called Democrat, so-called white man. At which time he told me that our African brothers were not interested in us in Africa. He says the Africans aren't interested in the American Negro. I knew he was lying. But during the next 2 or 3 weeks, it's my intention and plan to make a tour of our African homeland. And I hope that when I come back, I'll be able to come back and let you know how our African brothers and sisters feel toward us. And I know before I go there that they love us. We're one. We're the same. The same man who has colonized them all these years colonized you and me too. All these years. And all we have to do now is wake up and work in unity and harmony, and the battle will be over. I want to thank the Freedom Now Party and the Goal. I want to thank Milton and Richard Henry for inviting me here this afternoon, and also Reverend Clegg. And I want them to know that anything that I can ever do at any time to work with anybody in any kind of program that is sincerely designed to eliminate the political, the economic, and the social evils that confront all of our people in Detroit and elsewhere, all they got to do is give me a telephone call and I'll be on the next jet right on into the city.
Mr. Moderator, Reverend Clegg and Milton, brothers and sisters, and friends, and I see some enemies.
Time in 17 years of effort, a specific step has been taken to limit the nuclear arms race. I refer, of course, to the treaty to ban nuclear tests in the atmosphere, outer space, and underwater, concluded by the Soviet Union, the United Kingdom, and the United States, and already signed by nearly 100 countries. It has been hailed by people the world over who are thankful to be free from the fears of nuclear fallout. And I am confident that on next Tuesday at 10:30 o'clock in the morning, it will receive the overwhelming endorsement of the Senate of the United States. The world has not escaped from the darkness. The long shadows of conflict and crisis envelop us still. But we meet today in an atmosphere of rising hope and at a moment of comparative calm. My presence here today is not a sign of crisis, but of confidence. I am not here to report on a new threat to the peace or new signs of war. I have come to salute the United Nations and to show the support of the American people. United States, as a major nuclear power, does have a special responsibility to the world. It is, in fact, a threefold responsibility. A responsibility to our own citizens, a responsibility to the people of the whole world who are affected by our decisions, and to the next generation of humanity. We believe the Soviet Union also has these special responsibilities, and that those responsibilities require our two nations to concentrate less on our differences and more on the means of resolving them peacefully. For too long, both of us have increased our military budgets, our nuclear stockpiles, and our capacity to destroy all life on this hemisphere, human, animal, vegetable, without any corresponding increase in our security. Our conflicts, to be sure, are real. Our concepts of the world are different. No service is performed by failing to make clear our disagreements. A central difference is the belief of the American people in self-determination for all people. We believe that the people of Germany and Berlin must be free to reunite their capital and their country. We believe that the people of Cuba must be free to secure the fruits of the revolution that have been betrayed from within and destroyed from without. But I would say to the leaders of the Soviet Union and to their people that if either of our countries is to be fully secure, we need a much better weapon than the H-bomb, a weapon better than ballistic missiles or nuclear submarines, and that better weapon is peaceful cooperation. We have in recent years agreed on a limited test ban treaty, on an emergency communications link between our capitals, on a statement of principles for disarmament, on an increase in cultural exchange, on cooperation in outer space, on the peaceful exploration of the Antarctic, and on tempering last year's crisis over Cuba. I believe, therefore, that the Soviet Union and the United States, together with their allies, can achieve further agreements, agreements which spring from our mutual interest in avoiding mutual destruction. There can be no doubt about the agenda of further steps. We must continue to seek agreements on measures which prevent war by accident or miscalculation. We must continue to seek agreement on safeguards against surprise attack, including observation posts at key points. We must continue to seek agreement on further measures to curb the nuclear arms race by controlling the transfer of nuclear weapons, converting fissionable materials to peaceful purposes, and banning underground testing with adequate inspection and enforcement. We must continue to seek agreement on a freer flow of information and people from east to west and west to east. We must continue to seek agreement, encouraged by yesterday's affirmative response to this proposal by the Soviet foreign minister on an arrangement to keep weapons of mass destruction out of outer space. Let us get our negotiators back to the negotiating table. To control his own environment, to end thirst and hunger, to conquer poverty and disease, to banish illiteracy and massive human misery. We have the power to make this the best generation of mankind in the history of the world. To make it last. And new means should be found for promoting the free expression and trade of ideas through travel and communication and through increased exchanges of people and books and broadcasts. For as the world renounces the competition of weapons, competition in ideas must flourish. And that competition must be as full and as fair as possible. The United States delegation will be prepared to suggest to the United Nations initiatives in the pursuit of all these goals. For this is an organization for peace. And peace cannot come without work and without progress. The peacekeeping record of the United Nations has been a proud one, though its tasks are always formidable. We are fortunate to have the skills of our distinguished Secretary General and the brave efforts of those who have been serving the cause of peace in the Congo and the Middle East, in Korea and Kashmir, in West Virginia and Malaysia. My fellow inhabitants of this planet, let us take our stand here in this Assembly of Nations, and let us see that if we, in our own time, can move the world to a just and lasting peace,
Would you want a Gaddafi or an Arafat or a Castro to be a future president of South Africa?
One of the mistakes which some political analysts make is to think that their enemies should be our enemies. We have our own struggle, which we are conducting. We are grateful to the world for supporting our struggle. But nevertheless, we are an independent organization with its own policy. And the attitude of every country towards, our attitude towards any country is determined by the attitude of that country to our struggle. Yasser Arafat, Colonel Gaddafi, Fidel Castro support our struggle to the hilt. There is no reason whatsoever why we should have any hesitation about hailing their commitment to human rights as they are being demanded in South Africa. Our attitude is based solely on the fact that they fully support the anti-apartheid struggle. They do not support it only in rhetoric. They are placing resources at our disposal for us to win the struggle. Because just like ourselves, they are fighting for the right of self-determination. That we carefully define what we mean by secure borders. We do not mean that Israel has the right to retain the territories they conquered from the Arab world, like the Gaza Strip, the Golan Heights, and the West Bank. We don't agree with that. Those territories should be returned to the Arab people.
Mr. Mandela.
We are not prepared to be swayed by anybody. We have an independent policy which we accept no matter with whom we discuss. The Jewish leader have any doubts about our stand, I am prepared to address them and to allay their concern, because they are a very important community both in South Africa and of course in the States. And I'm prepared to iron out any differences that might exist. But they must know what our stand is. Arafat is a comrade in arms, and we treat him as such. And as I have said, we have many Jews, members of the Jewish community in our struggle, and they have occupied very top positions. But that does not mean to say that the enemies of Israel are our enemies. We refuse to take that position. You can call it being political or a moral question, but for anybody who changes his principles depending on whom he is dealing, that is not a man who can lead a nation.
That's German propaganda.
I understand. Let me tell you a tactic of Zionism. What they do is that every time you say something, they bring out Hitler. You understand? And they make you feel scared about Hitler. Okay, if Hitler killed as many Jews as he did, then what the Jews should do is take Germany. Why you go to Palestine? The Arabs ain't did nothing to you. Number one, go to Germany.
Germany.
Hey.
Germany. Because Germany is not our homeland, Israel is.
I'm coming. Egypt is mine. It's Africa. Is that correct?
That's right.
Why does Israel want to attack
Israel
Africa?
does not want Egypt.
Israel doesn't want Egypt.
No, it does not.
What does it want?
Israel wants Israel.
Where is
Israel
Israel?
wants-
What year was Israel recreated? How did you get it? How? Who gave it to you? Lord Balfour in London in 1916? Was it his?
The modern state of Israel was created by the United Nations.
You want to get in on this? He's right. Yeah. Okay, He's absolutely correct. He is absolutely correct. And that shows you what an illegal, immoral, and unjust state is. Today, it won't even listen to the rules of the United Nations, which tells it to withdraw from the 1967 borders.
That's very interesting, Mr. Carmichael. On one
Come
hand,
on, let's work with it.
United Nations is a bunch of bullshit, and you know it.
Hey.
On one hand, you say that...
Please, wait, hold it. No, please. For respect of me, I don't curse publicly. I didn't go through that period. I left it where it belongs.
I said it, he didn't. The same roots and the same rights that blacks have to Africa are the same rights that Jews have to Israel. Because they've been living in exile does not mean we've relinquished the right. We still cherish it in our hearts.
I understand that. I understand.
So don't go off calling us aggressors, because we have a right to that land just as blacks have a right to Africa.
I understand. I'm saying that Africa belongs to us. You say it belongs to you too. So
no, I don't.
Two spaces.
I say Africa is yours, but Israel is ours.
No.
There's a difference.
No.
Yes, there is.
Israel belongs to the Palestinians.
For someone who believes in humanity, you certainly haven't shown it to me here.
I do believe in humanity.
Only black humanity.
I believe, but that's humanity.
Hey. What about Jewish?
Hey.
No, if you're going to go that way, Stokely, then it's yellow humanity.
Hey, come on.
Are blacks the only people in the world?
No, we're not the only people in the world.
Are Jews a people?
Huh?
Are Jews a people?
They call themselves a people, yes.
They are a people.
Well, you wait in line. I've been waiting here. Waiting in line, man.
Let me say this. Let me say something here.
That's German propaganda.
I understand. Let me tell you a tactic of Zionism. What they do is that every time you say something, they bring out Hitler. You understand? And they make you feel scared about Hitler. Okay, if Hitler killed as many Jews as he did, then what the Jews should do is take Germany. Why you go to Palestine? The Arabs ain't did nothing to you. Number one, go to Germany.
Germany.
Hey.
Germany. Because Germany is not our homeland, Israel is.
I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. Egypt is mine. It's Africa. Is that correct?
That's right.
Why does Israel want to attack
Israel
Africa?
does not want Egypt.
Israel doesn't want Egypt.
No, it does not.
What does it want?
Israel wants Israel.
Where is
Israel
Israel?
wants-
What year was Israel recreated? How did you get it? How? Who gave it to you? Lord Balfour in London in 1916? Was it his?
The modern state of Israel was created by the United Nations.
Aha.
You want to get in on this?
He's right. He's absolutely correct. He is absolutely correct. And that shows you what an illegal, immoral, and unjust state is. Today, it won't even listen to the rules of the United Nations, which tells it to withdraw from the 1967 borders.
That's very interesting, Mr. Carmichael. On one
Come
hand,
on, let's work with it. Let's
United
work.
Nations
Truth
is a
on
bunch
my
of
side.
bullshit, and you know it.
Hey.
On one hand, you say
Please,
that
wait, hold it. No, please. For respect of me, I don't curse publicly. I didn't go through that period. I left it where it belongs.
I said it, he didn't. The same roots
Yes.
and the same rights that
Right.
blacks have to Africa are the same rights that Jews have to Israel.
Oh,
Because they've been living in exile does not mean we've relinquished the right.
Brother,
We
you got-
still cherish it in our hearts.
I understand that. I understand.
So don't go off calling us aggressors, because we have a right to that land just as
Right.
blacks have a right to
I
Africa.
understand. I'm saying that Africa belongs to us. You say it belongs to you too. So
No, I don't.
Two spaces.
I say Africa is yours, but Israel is ours.
No.
There's a difference.
No.
Yes, there is.
Israel belongs to the Palestinians.
For someone who believes in humanity, you certainly haven't shown it to me here.
I do believe in humanity.
Only black humanity.
I believe, but that's humanity. Hey.
What about Jewish?
Hey.
No, if
Hey.
you're going to go that way, Stokely, then it's yellow humanity.
Hey, come on.
Are blacks the only people in the world?
No, we're not the only people in the world.
Are
We're
Jews a people?
Huh?
Are Jews a people?
They call themselves a people, yes.
they are a people.
Well, you wait in line. I've been waiting here.
Let me say
I've been
something.
waiting in
I know,
line,
but
man.
let me say this. Let me say something here. Wait a minute. Hold it now.
That's German propaganda.
I understand. Let me tell you a tactic of Zionism. What they do is that every time you say something, they bring out Hitler. You understand? And they make you feel scared about Hitler. Okay, if Hitler killed as many Jews as he did, then what the Jews should do is take Germany. Why you go to Palestine? The Arabs ain't did nothing to you. Number one. Go to
Because
Germany.
Germany,
Hey,
because
I'm coming.
Germany is not our homeland, Israel is.
I'm coming. Egypt is mine. It's Africa. Is that correct?
That's right.
Why does Israel want to attack
Israel
Africa?
does not want Egypt.
Israel doesn't want Egypt.
No, it does not.
What does it want?
Israel wants Israel.
Where is
Israel
Israel?
wants-
What year was Israel recreated? How did you get it? How? Who gave it to you? Lord Balfour in London in 1916? Was it his?
The modern state of Israel was created by the United Nations.
Aha.
You want to get in on this?
He's right. He's absolutely correct. He is absolutely correct. And that shows you what an illegal, immoral, and unjust state is. Today, it won't even listen to the rules of the United Nations, which tells it to withdraw from the 1967 borders.
That's very interesting, Mr. Carmichael. On one
Come
hand,
on, let's work with it. Let's
United
work.
Nations
Truth
is a
on
bunch
my
of
side.
bullshit, and you know it.
Hey.
on one hand, you say that
Please, wait, hold it. No, please. For respect of me, I don't curse publicly. I didn't go through that period. I left it where it belongs.
I said it, he didn't. The same roots
Yes.
and the same rights that
Right.
blacks have to Africa are the same rights that Jews have to Israel. Because they've been living in exile does not mean we've relinquished the right.
Brother,
We
you got-
still cherish it in our hearts.
I understand that. I understand.
So don't go off calling us aggressors, because we have a right to that land just as
Right.
blacks have a right to
I
Africa.
understand. I'm saying that Africa belongs to us. You say it belongs to you too. So
No, I don't.
Two spaces.
I say Africa is yours, but Israel is ours.
No.
There's a difference.
No.
Yes, there is.
Israel belongs to the Palestinians.
For someone who believes in humanity, you certainly haven't shown it to me here.
I do believe in humanity.
Only black humanity.
I believe, but that's humanity.
What
Hey.
about Jewish?
Hey.
No, if you're going to go that way, Stokely, then it's yellow humanity.
Hey, come on.
Are blacks the only people in the world?
No, we're not the only people in the world.
Are
We're
Jews a people?
Huh?
Are Jews a people?
They call themselves a people, yes.
they are a people.
Well, you wait in line. I've been waiting here.
Let me say
I've been
something.
waiting in
I know,
line,
but
man.
let me say this. Let me say something here. Wait a minute. Hold it now. Wasn't it in June the 12th, 1948, that they made the exodus from Europe? Was that it?